Minerals Council South Africa's briefed the media following its submission of its full potential to create employment, stimulate the economy and fulfill its social mandate. Our economics reporter Nothando Magu-dulela spoke to the CEO of the Minerals Council, Mzila Mthenjane, and asked him about the issues they want to address regarding the Mineral Resources Development Bill.
You'll recall in May at the AGM, one of the statements that our president made was that, the bill as it has been currently published does not encourage investment and growth of the mining industry. And I think that's a very important statement to start off with, because as you mentioned, we are at a time of significant change in the country and in the mining industry. The bill is aiming to modernize the industry, and for that we need investment, both from local investors as well as offshore investors. And so what we're discussing today and sharing with yourselves were just some of the key principles to be able to encourage investment and growth. And one of the overarching principles is of certainty and predictability of the law. And so when it comes to the drafting of the law as it currently reads in the bill, this is where we made a comment that I think there needs to be particular attention paid to what the definitions are and what they mean, and to not leave it to interpretation of somebody who's reading it. And then the other aspect of certainty and predictability is what we call security of tenure. And what we mean by that is that if you have applied for a prospecting right, or you've applied for a mining right, you have to be sure that given the amount of money you're going to invest, that right will remain yours for a period of at least 5 years, which is the initial life of a prospecting right, or for 30 years, which is the initial life of a mining right. And you want the law not to change significantly such that it potentially could harm the value of your investment over that period of time. So those are just some of the key things that we've given attention to.
And also I understand that you have a certain view about the current bill at its current stage. Can you talk to us a bit about that?
So the number of elements that we have given attention to. So amongst others, it is on beneficiation, for instance. I'll start with that, which has been a very topical issue. And I think what the bill is wanting to ascertain is the availability of minerals for those who wish to beneficiate. And I think that is noble. However, there has to be a market perspective as well in terms of South Africa's ability to beneficiate, and that it should be part of the encouragement of investment packages for anyone who wants to invest in beneficiation. And therefore, anyone who also wishes to invest in beneficiation must have certainty around their ability to sell that product to the market at a market price. And so what we are proposing is that there should be incentives provided to those who wish to invest in beneficiation. And then another second point that I can share with you is around environmental provisions, particularly at the time of mine closure of mines. And there the certainty that is often provided when issuing a mine closure certificate is important, both for the closure of the mine and the end of investing in the mine, but also ensuring that as an investor and an operator, you are sure that you have invested all the monies required to close the mine. You've taken care of environmental liabilities and any other associated. That then opens up new opportunities in terms of, in that location, what else can happen. And so the certainty again comes through in terms of mine closure and certificates. And so what we are proposing is that anyone who's going to invest in a mine should have a reasonable level of certainty from the time that they invest in prospecting to the time that they convert that prospecting right into a mining right over the next 30 years of operating a mine up until closure.
Yeah, and just on mine closures, I mean, South Africa is grappling with illegal mining in the country. It's a huge problem amongst the communities. And what are you looking at into addressing this issue? Is this being addressed in the draft bill?
That's actually one of the more positive and welcome changes in the bill, in that previously illegal mining, where you were found to be mining illegally, you would be charged with trespassing, and now it's a criminal act because illegal mining, it means that it's mining that's taking place outside of the realm of the law. And so that's a change that we welcome, and it's one which the DMPR will be working with other law enforcement departments as well to put into place.
And just lastly, you also mentioned the steep decline in exploration. Just take us through what you mean about this, because I also saw in one of your slides where you said the budget in exploration has declined from 6.3 billion, if I'm not mistaken, to a couple of millions.
So, I mean, exploration is important for future mining, but at the same time, exploration and mining is competing for capital with many other investments. And at the moment, a lot of money has been going into AI and innovations, and that means that investors are finding alternative places where they can put their money, where they can get a return on that investment with minimal risk. Those are the conditions we need to be aware of if we want to increase our investment in exploration. We have to reduce the non-market risks because the investor can handle the market-related risk. So by non-market risk, I mean risks such as potential risk to tenure. If I invest in South Africa, am I sure that I own that property and that I can mine in it? Am I secure in my presence in mining? So safety and security becomes an important issue. And when I mine, can I get my product to market? So infrastructure also becomes important. So whilst the focus today was largely on the amendment bill, we also acknowledge the fact that there are other areas where the DMPR doesn't have control, but it has influence, which are also important in enabling mining to take place.